Hi, I'm Shannon McGee, strategic business coach and franchise owner with Network in Action here in the metropolitan Nashville area. And today I have Bill Yeager with Focus CFO. Thanks for joining me today, Bill.
Well, thank you, Shannon. Glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Well, so my father said, son, you ought to figure out a way to work for yourself. And this is shortly out of college. I did go to work for somebody, but that always stuck with me. So I was early 30s and had an opportunity to branch out into industrial sales as a manufacturer's rep. And so I represented anywhere from 4 to 10 product lines over the course of about 30 years.
Wow.
So I just worked from home and worked for myself. So I know how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. So fast forward a number of years later, um, as I'm getting older, I want to be able to help younger companies, younger people with their entrepreneur spirit.
I love that. There's so much importance of bringing this experience of what you've learned, how you've grown, and the different experiences that we bring to the table. And so now you're with Focus CFO. Tell us a little bit about what you do as fractional CFOs.
Well, so smaller companies, say the $2 to $30 million range, may not be able to afford a full-time CFO. And a CFO is unlike a CPA or a bookkeeper. The CPA and bookkeeper, they're like looking in the rear view mirror of your car. They look at what's happened. The CFO sits next to the owner, the entrepreneur, the CEO, and helps guide them with financial decisions on how to move forward. So that's what a CFO does. So they may not be able to afford that person full time. We can help them part time.
I love that. That explanation makes a lot more sense, I think, because people who don't know any better, I've got someone doing my finances, but to your point, they're lagging indicators, right? Instead of these leading
Yes.
indicators. And so tell me a little bit more about how does Focus CFO differ than some of the other fractional CFO companies out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. And there are other fractional CFO companies, and they're all good. Um, we view them as all great competitors. How we differ is that we have an area president's role, which is business development, and then we have the CFO who has the knowledge to dig in and do the work. A lot of CFOs don't necessarily like to do business development. So what we found is that the people that like to do the business development do it, and then we bring in the correct CFO for that particular company's need. So we're a little different in that model.
Well, and from what I believe I heard you say is you stay along with that, owning that relationship. You help with that relationship.
Absolutely, it is a collaborative approach. We work together.
Mhm.
As a business development, I stay close to the client to be sure that things are running smooth. There's no issues between the personalities of the CFO and the company, because if there is, we can probably bring in another CFO. Doesn't happen very often. Usually we try to bet all that up front end.
You know what I love about this? So you're really this relationship manager. And why I hear that that's so important is sometimes folks that are so specialized in finance are a little more introverted and maybe not as great at soft skills, people skills. And so by having you
Yeah,
there, not just bring in the business, sell it and leave, you're owning this relationship, you're building it and
absolutely.
bringing it in and being
Absolutely.
this partner with the CFO and the client. That's pretty unique because
Yeah,
um, finance is intimidating. And it's here you've got someone telling you all this stuff you may not understand, and maybe their approach is rubbing you the wrong way, or you just simply don't speak the same language.
yeah, yeah,
Having someone who owns that relationship is pretty awesome.
yeah. We found that it works pretty well.
That's wonderful. Well, Bill, if someone wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you?
My cell phone,
Okay,
61615 351 2175.
great. Well, thanks for joining me today, Bill.
Well, thanks for having me.